For today, we're playing Resident Evil 2 and on the MacBook Air M1. And we are playing on 1080p at the default settings, which is a mix of medium and high with upscaling enabled. Here we go with that. It's pretty respectable, to be honest. It's pretty good for a MacBook Air with no fan. And for the specs, we are using a base MacBook Air, so we only have 8 gigs of memory as well, so keep that in mind. Sadly, we can't push this too far, or the game will start stuttering and lagging like crazy. So for this one, I'll be at the base settings, but I will adjust the resolution as we go. And for the overlay, we have the first column, which is the most important column. There's the FPS, the frame time, the GPU time, and then our memory. And in the brackets, we have the minimum time and the maximum time as well. Alright, let's jump into the game now. So I've played this for like an hour now, or 2 hours, just to see how it does over time, and the FPS does definitely fall on this system, which makes sense. It is a MacBook Air, there's no fans, so eventually it will heat up and slow down. So right here we're sitting at 30 FPS, it's definitely playable. And for the graphics, looks pretty good, guys. Can feel some stutters here and there, so I think ideally I would cap the FPS at 30 if you are playing at 1080p. Skip these cutscenes. Okay, so right here the game is slowing down a bit more. Can feel some stutters again. Where's the key at? It's right here, yep. This game shouldn't be too intensive, to be honest. I've played this like 10 times all the way through. And it's mainly indoors. Like you go outside a few times, but for the most part, again, you are indoors and the game is pretty easy to play. Let's run past all these guys. I should have gone left, to be honest, but it's whatever. Things gonna fall down, yep, and we can go through. So yeah, 30 FPS at 1080p. Again, there's upscaling active, so the image isn't perfect. I can see some ghosting and some shimmering on the side, but for the most part, it's not that bad. So right here, should get more intensive with the fire. We are barely holding on to that 30 FPS mark. And the game this entire time has been stuttering as well. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed, to be honest. It is doing a good job playing this game. I think ideally I would pick probably 900p on the MacBook Air. And by default, I think it does pick 900p. And you'll get like 37 FPS on average. Like 33 to 37 FPS with that one. Leave me alone. Alright guys, indoors, in the main hall, we are sitting at 25 FPS here. 26, 25. At 900p, I was sitting at like 34 FPS here. Or 35 FPS here. And a quick note, the system has been running for like 2 hours now. So it's already pretty warm. So if you are playing on a MacBook Pro or a Mac Mini with a fan, it should be far more stable and the FPS should be higher as well. This is a fun game though, guys. If you haven't played it, it is definitely worth a pick up. It has like 4 stories pretty much. A story A, a story B for each character. So you can play it over and over again and have a good time. FPS wise, 28 on average. 29. It's not bad, but again, I would pick 900p for this one, I think. Just to have the extra GPU headroom. So 900p, 30 FPS, and the default settings. Yeah, this dude ain't gonna survive. Spoilers. Yeah, the first time playing this game, I was freaking out, dude. That is so laggy. Okay, I can't even aim. It's so laggy. It is a scary game. It's one of the scariest in the series. For me, I think Resident Evil 7 is still peak. But this game is like second place for me. So yeah, let's pause the game here, guys. Back out, try 900p, no upscaling, and try it again. Alright guys, graphics settings, bring this down to 900p. There we go. The overlay gets bigger, obviously. Same settings as before. I will disable upscaling though, just to see how we go as a base test. And this should go to 100% as well. Back into the game again, guys, 900p, and the FPS is 25 to 27, 29, so not great, but I can't see the ghosting and the shimmering that we had with upscaling active. So it does look a bit better, but FPS wise, it is similar to 1080p with upscaling active. Alright, back into the game again, this time with upscaling active. Let's see how the game looks and how it performs. Skip all this, and there you go, wow, 40 FPS. Ideally though for me, I would use an FPS cap of 30 here, just to avoid the stutters. Yep, right here, it feels way better. Can't feel as many stutters. Pretty good, actually. I like it. Feels way smoother, guys. And going inside, we're sitting at 38 FPS here. At the start, the game did freeze and stutter for a little bit, but it went back up to like 35 to 37. But I'm going to pause the game here, guys, and use a 30 FPS cap and see if I can feel any stutters then. So going to graphics, coming down here and using frame rate and 30. So the game does stutter still, but it's very minor, guys. Like as you're loading into a new section, the game will have like one stutter, like right here, and then be fine again. Alright, here we go. Going through. Way smoother. Before it froze for like a second and started quite heavily, fell down to the low 30s, and then back up into the mid 30s. Right here, a stable 30 the entire time. Again, it does stutter, but it's very minor now. Alright, 720p, same settings, upscaling active as well. That is a giant overlay. Sorry about that. Try again and see how we go, guys. It's the mid 40s, high 40s. Okay, mid 50s here now. Hold on, it is going up. High 50s. And again, this MacBook has been playing the game for like 2 hours now, so it's already warm. So a cool MacBook or MacBook Pro or Mini with a fan will do better, or should do better actually. I can't guarantee anything, to be honest. I haven't got a MacBook Pro to try out. In here, guys, we're sitting at 40 FPS, but it might go up again. Let's wait. Yep, 42, 43, 44, 45, 48, 49 maybe? Nope, 48. Pretty okay, I guess. Low settings, hit me over that. There we go. Let's see how we go now. High 40s, low 50s here. Going back up slowly. I'll give it a second. Mid 50s here. Okay, so stable 60. Not really happening here at 900p. It's really up to you. Try it out. See what you like more. For me, it's 900p. Medium to high settings, upscaling active, and 30 FPS. But if you want to get 60, then lower the settings, use upscaling, and play at 900p or 720p. And just in case, I'll pause the game here, try 720p as well, and see if 60 FPS is doable at all. Alright, 720p, there you go, 60 FPS, finally. Let's see if it's stable though. So low settings, 720p, and 60 FPS is ours. And again, this MacBook is already warm, so the FPS might be lower than what you see on a MacBook Pro or a Mac Mini. So keep that in mind, that's very important. And the main hallway falls down to the low 50s and back up into the high 50s. Yeah, on a controller, you can't really feel it, to be honest. Like low 50s feels the same as the high 50s. So for me, this is fine. It should be a mostly 60 FPS experience. So again, it's really up to you. If you want sharpness and graphics, then play at 30 FPS. But if you need 60 FPS, then lower the settings, use upscaling, and play at 720p. So yeah, that's RE2 on the MacBook Air M1. Thanks for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time, next video. See you guys there.